Hello, everybody. So, what I'm going to talk about is the different types of the different types that we use in native Solana against the some of the types that we use when we're dealing with anger. So, I'm going to start with Solana, native Solana. So, some of the most important types that you're going to come across are account info. So if you control click here, you can see that account info is made up of the public key. Um, some This is the public key of the account itself, and you're going to use this to verify that the right account, is being passed in. Executable. If the account is a program account, this is going to be true. Otherwise, it's going to be false. It's going to come with the owner as well. All of these are not, they are read only when you're writing your programs. The fields that you can change are the lamports and the program's data. Um, they're inside a reference counter so that you can have multiple references which are mutable. Maybe the next type that we can look at is account meta. So account meta is also deals with the account information, but this time uh, you can you can use this to create instructions. Um, and when you're creating instructions, you need to to set this metadata, whether the account is going to be the signer, whether it's going to be writable. So it's different with account info where you couldn't. These fields are sort of immutable, but with account meta, these fields are going to be ones that you're supposed to set. Um, the other type is the public key. The public key is just a table struct. Um, so it's public to the crate, and it's 32 bytes long. Uh, so that's the representation of a public key on chain. It implements some of the traits such as Bosch, deserialize, and serialize, um, so that it can be serialized. And some of these like order and partial order so that you can compare between them. So that's an overview of that. Maybe if we go over to Anchor here, um, we have the account type, um, which is a struct. The account type in Anchor is a wrapper over the account info that we just saw in native Solana, which contains all the information. So this one is going to be a wrapper over that kind, and it's going to perform some checks over the account so that you can see if you have the right account. As you can see that it's it has a generic T field, which the generic type is supposed to implement account serialize and account deserialize, and is supposed to implement the owner trait so that we can check if the owner of this account is the program. So when you use the account type, your data is going to be deserialized into this T that you can access inside your program. Inca has other account types. We can see the full list here. We You have account info, account loader. These are the modules that contain the types of accounts, the structs, and unchecked account, system account, and signer. If we check here, begin the code, if we can check um, the unchecked account. So this is just an explicit wrapper over the, and it emphasizes that no checks are performed. So when sometimes you don't want to perform any checks on the account that is being passed in, maybe because you're going to perform the checks inside the program's instruction, or maybe because the account or performs its own checks, like uh, in its own code. For example, with associated token account. So that's the unchecked account. It's just another variable. It just, as you can see, it just returns itself, which is just an account info. So you might be wondering why not just use account info. This way, yeah, whenever your cargo is going to force you to to put a documentation to annotate this, such that in the future a person who's going to be using your program, creating your program, can understand why you decided not to perform checks there. So we also have important types like context when we're dealing with Anchor, because this is a struct um, which contains the program ID in the accounts. When an instruction is coming, is when we are calling your program in native Solana, for example, you have your program ID and your instruction and your instruction date, your account and your instruction date. So your context is going to take or collect the program ID and the accounts, and it's going to also, yeah, the program ID and the accounts, and it's going to also include what they call remaining accounts. Maybe sometimes you don't want to include you don't know the number of users that are going to be using your programs, or it's variable. So the required accounts are going to be in the account struct, but then the accounts that you don't know, which are variable, are going to be in the remaining accounts. Bumps are for when the account is a PDA, so you can it stores the bumps here so that you can access them inside the program instruction instead of deriving them all over again. We also have types like CPI context. This this is the same as context. Um, the only difference is that this is used when you're calling an instruction in Inca from another program. It's a cross if it's a cross program invocation that you're making. So you need to create a CPI type that is going to um, be used by the program when you're calling it. It's also used with this sinus seeds. If the program is going to be signing, if you've included a a PDA which needs signing inside the accounts. Inca also exposes some of the um, the usual types that you would expect from system program. They are also available to you inside of Anchor. Things like public key and the likes. There are also other types that you could the person could look at, but I'll just look at those ones for now. Thank you.